Why do you always do that thing?
Do what?
The thing you do when you're fighting. And this thing that you do when you whip your hair when you're fighting with the arm and the hair, and you do like a fighting pose. It's a fighting pose. You're a total poser.
I'm not a poser.
We ready to roll?
Broadcasting live from the internet, it's Tuesday night, and this is the Panels on Pages podcast.
Big boys playing with big toys. This is quality content.
The boomers are into it.
Hey man, I just show up.
With your hosts, Lee Rodriguez.
I am a visionary. Like, I have a podcast, so like, no, that's not me. That's somebody else.
Jason Nyes.
Yeah, sure. I'm not getting any vegetables in my diet. I'm just a thick boy.
Jose Guzman.
Is Jose on the show tonight?
He says he's coming.
It's like Elton John all over again, just minus the death threats.
Kelly Harris.
Reach your hand in your pants there, big boy. That's not me. I don't sound like that anymore.
And our good buddy Mahoney.
Hey, Mahoney's here. What's up, Mahoney?
We can do just glorious, wonderful things on our phones, people.
No one's ever done anything like this before.
It's gonna be massive.
It's going to be great. I mean, obviously, I think it'll be great.
And it's all killer, no filler.
My seat's on fire! Your take's so hot!
Come on. It's so good.
It's pretty good. It's there. It's reliable. You know what you're getting every single time.
Man, I'm so glad you found us.
You're all terrible people, and I'm glad you're my friend.
Put that in the intro.
That's really funny.
Over 500 episodes, and you'd think they'd have the hang of it by now.
It seems like the concept that would run its course very quickly. What is going on, everybody? Today is Tuesday, July 13th, 2021, and this is episode number 565 of the Panels on Pages podcast. I am your host, the Lord Reverend Lee Rodriguez, and joining me tonight we have Mr. Jason Nyes.
Too large.
Kelly Harris.
Oi! I heard yous were giving away beans and toast.
Good buddy Mahoney is here.
Roll the tape back because Lee called himself the Lee Rodriguez.
Oh, did I?
Hey,
Yeah.
it works.
What are you gonna do?
The only, the Lee Rodriguez.
You know what? I know for a fact that's not true because when I was trying to fucking buy a domain back in the day for my design portfolio, there's some fucking hairdresser in Washington named Lee Rodriguez that got LeeRodriguez.com. Son of a
I bet they're
bitch.
dead by now.
Ooh, maybe. But you know what also dead? My design portfolio website. Gone.
There is
thank you.
There is no at the Lee Rodriguez on Twitter, so that's an option.
Ooh.
Not
There
yet.
we go. Yeah, not
I'm going
yet.
to take it.
And joining us tonight...
Mahoney, you know what
Oh,
you should
God.
use as the profile picture?
I think I do.
That Boss Baby
Don't.
picture.
Yes.
Joining us tonight, resident MCU aficionado fanboy,
Super fan.
our good buddy John-Michael. What's up, John-Michael?
Hi, today is the 12th anniversary of my 20th kidney stone, so I thought no better way to celebrate than to come on the podcast.
I saw that.
I'm
on
glad
your
you brought
Facebook.
that up. I was going to congratulate you on your 12th anniversary. I saw that on
Thank
Facebook.
you. Thank you. It's the longest relationship I've ever had. It's, you know,
I really want to know, did you stop at 20?
no.
Oh, no. Well, where are you
I've
up
had-
to?
I've
What-
had
That's
at
actually really
least-
interesting.
I've had at least I've had 28 confirmed, and then I think 3 to 5 more where I think I had one. I had the same pain, but I wasn't able to like visually confirm that I passed the stone. But
Oh.
so I believe I'm in the 30s at least, but I know
Okay.
confirmed 28.
All right.
I
so, real
appreciate
quick-
that you get kidney stones the same way you see movies.
Right, like, what have you done more? Had kidney stones or seen Winter Soldier?
In theater, like if we're going just theaters, more kidney stones. Then the amount of times that I've seen Winter Soldier total, that would beat the amount of kidney stones.
Okay, how many kidney stones have you passed in theaters?
Oh God.
None that I know of.
Imagine-
I've never pissed myself in a theater that I can remember.
Well, I mean,
Imagine
in the bathroom.
for a moment Nice's lovely wife sitting in a theater, already annoyed and on edge, and then someone 2 rows over and slightly behind her passes a kidney stone.
You just hear, "Oh, it's out."
I remember the first one I ever had. I was still in high school, and I was in my Spanish class, and we were having like a different food. Like everybody was bringing in different food. My instructor brought in food from all over, different places, Spanish-speaking countries and stuff. And I remember just sitting there and
the white kids bringing in tacos.
Pretty much. But yeah, one time I had one, and the pain was so bad that I just flat out forgot to go to work. I didn't call them or anything. I just forgot that I had to work.
All right. So since we are an educational podcast, we're also a medical podcast. So how would one know if they are about to experience some kidney stone nonsense? Does it always hurt? Or is it just kind of like, oh, there's some other symptoms? What should we be looking for?
It hurts when it's moving. It hurts when it's moving. So when it's passing through, especially whatever. I have a narrow opening in my urethra, so they get stuck. Mine would get stuck a lot and then get inflamed.
Oh no!
Once it gets into the bladder, the pain is usually gone. I've had them surgically removed 3 times. I don't recommend that. They left a stent in because I was so swollen. They were worried that things would swell shut, but. I didn't ever think I'd talk about this on the internet, but whatever. They tied it they left basically a plastic string type thing hanging out. It was almost like a zip tie hanging out.
Oh God!
And they knotted it to make sure that it didn't go in me, but the knot was not large enough, so the knot just kept going in and out, in and out, in and out.
Oh God!
And it did not feel good. So finally, I'm like, I can't take this anymore. So I pulled it out way too early, which then left it swollen. It was not pleasant. I don't recommend them. I've experienced many, many types of pain, and this is definitely the most pain I've ever experienced. I've spoken with numerous women who have given birth and had kidney stones, and everyone that has experienced both has told me that kidney stones are worse. I would not recommend saying this to a partner that is about to give birth, but
just whisper in their ear hey, I know exactly what you're going through, but I've done this 30 times.
Actually, mine was a little bit worse, but hang in there, bucko.
I've shot
Lee, can you call Goat's wife? Get her on the phone.
I've shot 30 calcium babies out my pee hole.
God damn, that's horrible.
You ever see those pictures of the people who they'll be like, this is why you shouldn't drink energy drinks, and then they show you the inside of someone's kidney and it looks like it has fucking teeth?
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, that's still that sticks in my brain as just this horror, fucking what if kidneys have teeth, man?
Yeah,
they eat their way out.
They never figured out why I was getting so many of them. Mine were, of all of them, I had 1 calcium and the rest were uric acid. And nothing in my diet indicated why I was getting them. So I was just producing them because. And I remember...
Superpower.
I remember...
the world's shittiest mutant power.
I remember I had...
That includes you, Cypher.
I remember I had one on December 23rd, 2009, and I had to go to the hospital, and I had to have it surgically removed. And then I forced them to release me on Christmas Eve because my family, before my grandma died, we did Christmas Eve was our big thing, and I refused to miss it. So I forced them to let me out of the hospital, and then I forced my dad to drive me to the comic book store because I had missed Wednesday. I don't remember what day it fell on, but I had missed Wednesday that week, and so they were all waiting there for all my comics were waiting. And I remember trying to go in there, and I could barely walk, but damn it, I was not going to miss new comic books.
This giant man lumbering in pain from the car, being like, "Bring me Robin!"
Every step he's just screaming like that one guy.
It's really fun to go into places when you're having a medical issue and the looks you get. After I had my,
that's one way to say it.
Well, one time I had my top jaw I may have said this before, but I had my top jaw broken, pulled forward, and bolted back into place, and I inhaled incorrectly, and so the incisions, I sucked up a bunch of air into my incisions.
Oh,
and so my entire like half of my face, my right side of my face, just ballooned up. And then they let me out. I was discharged from the hospital, and this was 2008, and a new Stargate movie had just been released on DVD, and I forced my mother to drive me to Target, and she's like, "I'll go in and get it for you." But with my OCD, I have to make sure that the item I'm purchasing is in the best condition possible. So I had to go on myself. I looked like Quasimodo, shuffling back to the DVDs, and people are not subtle. They stare.
Yeah, I can only imagine if I saw an obviously unwell man hunched over, dragging himself towards a Stargate DVD.
Looking towards the latest direct-to-DVD Stargate movie.
I'd probably hold my eyes there for a few moments.
Oh my god. Woo! Well, happy anniversary, Dumb Michael.
Thank you.
Happy for you.
Thank you.
Fuck, man.
Here, to celebrate, we got you a 24-pack of Coca-Cola.
Perfect.
I looked up that the kidney that's full of stones that they say is from energy drinks. Snopes said it's not.
It's not real.
So yeah, it's not real. I mean, the kidney stones are real, but it's not from energy drinks. It's
I'm
just
not saying like why would it be?
See,
I don't know.
You said teeth, and I thought like venom teeth.
No, it just looks like a fucking bunch of like weird chiclets growing.
Yeah, that's.
But that's a different
I
story.
definitely thought like a spooky Pokemon.
No, it just looks like they form like fucked up teeth, and then it's like, oh, can't use this. Time to shoot it out your dick. Oh, we made another tooth. There's no use for this in here. Kidneys can't eat. Swoop.
Look on the bright side. JM's wee wee is so big, his kidney stones have to take a transfer.
Yeah, it's like
imagine. I just keep thinking back to that. You're talking about that weird knot thing hanging out and going in and out, and you're like, "Oh, it was horrible." And I'm just like, "Man, what a relief!" Like, imagine if that's how you found out that you're like into sounding or some shit. You're like, "Oh,
Wait, into what?
Sounding?
Sounding.
The fuck is that?
Yes. Oh, sounding is the act of putting things up in your pee hole.
Well, what an interesting thing to know the name of, Lee Rodriguez.
And if you're a real,
Oh.
and if you're a real psycho, sometimes like those, they're like metal rods. And everyone, if you're a fucking lunatic, you're like, hey, how about we put some electricity through the son of a bitch and just shock my dick from the inside out?
See, I'd always thought that was called finger slamming.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
Neither one of them sounds like a descriptive term for what's being described.
It reminds me
Well,
of
no,
when I
finger
went...
slamming is specifically a finger going in there.
Into your dick?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, you can buy
What?
you can buy a set of 8 sounding rods on Amazon for $17.
Are they the size of a finger? I was thinking they were like, like one of those.
Well, no, you have to start out with a
stir your coffee.
Yeah, that's the first one, and then you work your way up to the one that's the size of a finger. Yeah, you gotta work on it.
Although, John-Michael, you might want to consider this because it might make these stones easier.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they just kind of fell out while you're walking.
yeah, exactly.
Like a sock full of marbles.
In my shoe. Oh, fell out of my dick.
If you're doing that to yourself when you pee, is it just like someone dumping out a thing of Gatorade on the toad?
It sounds.
It's like when you're at the water park and the bucket fills and then it all fills at once.
And everyone around you goes, "Yay!"
Oh man, I done I really should have done this search in safe mode.
Oh man,
Oh no.
Whoops. Ew. Horrible.
Lee's gonna
Y'all
get
need
all.
Jesus.
Lee's gonna get all kinds of targeted ads.
Yeah, I done fucked that up.
He's gonna get
But
a lot of.
Instagram's gonna be real cool the next few days.
He's gonna get a lot of ads for A Quiet Place 2.
Oh god.
Your
Speaking
Instagram's
of,
just gonna be pictures of like wooden fingers, and you're like, what the fuck are those for?
Oh, this is a whole mannequin hand. Ew. What the fuck? Why? Oh. Whew, man.
And this is why we make people wait until the second half of the show to listen to our Black Widow reviews.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're doing this week. We're not talking no top 6, no topic this week. We're just talking about Black Widow because Black Widow came out in the theaters and on the Disney Plus this past week. And I made plans to actually take my lady out and go on a proper date because I messaged her the other day and I'm like, hey, don't make any fucking plans for Friday. And I was like, I've been waiting on Black Widow since May of last year. I will not wait another goddamn day. We're watching Black Widow on Friday. And she was like, shit. I got excited. I thought maybe you'd planned the date or something. And I was like, fuck. I forgot. Nature's returning. Holy shit. I can plan a date. We can go out to dinner and see a movie. And like, this is the new world again. Cool. Let's fucking do that. And so we did that. Went out and had dinner. And of course, because, the fates would not allow it, she started feeling kind of shitty, didn't feel good, got kind of sick after dinner, so we ended up going home and watching it at home anyway, which, is fine, because it only costs $2 more than 2 movie tickets.
Yeah.
So, not like it was that big of a deal. It was a damn good time. We had fun with it. We liked it a lot. We'll talk about it more in a little bit.
Yeah.
Before shit did go south, though, I went to... an Ollies. It's like a weird discount closeout store or whatever, kind of like a shitty Big Lots.
Yeah, those stores are weird.
A shitty Big Lots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Lots is a shitty Big Lots.
Yeah, but the thing
I'm
about
just telling you.
the thing about Ollies is there's no organization to it. There's no sections. They just drop shit in pallets wherever they could find a space.
And it's like, oh hey, do you want a portable air conditioner? No. Okay. How about some graham crackers? No graham crackers. Fuck. Okay. How about a lacrosse stick? How about 3 lacrosse sticks and a fishing rod? It's all kinds of crazy shit. But they almost always have a shitload of. Basically, it's where the all trades $5 have started to go. They go to Ollies now. Yeah, that's that kind of market for that. And so I found one of the Marvel. Miracle Man hardcovers for $6, and I'm like, shit, I've actually never read the Miracle Man, so I'm gonna buy this fucker. And then I'm like, I bet none of them have any of you actually read Miracle Man?
No.
I read some of it.
Yeah, I thought if anybody had, you would be the most likely one, Kelly. But even then, I'm like, maybe
The Alan
maybe
Moore
not.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, wait, are you talking the old 50s shit or whatever?
No, the Alan Moore one. Which is kind of funny because the hardcover lists all the artists and the colors and then
It's by original writer.
The original writer, and I'm like, oh, that's right, because he was being a big old asshole at the time. Okay, original writer, my favorite writer, the original author. Fucking ridiculous. Yeah, I'm gonna read that at some point, see how it goes. And then the only other thing really worth talking about is I got a new chair from my desk, which would be unremarkable at first, but I had a low back was all hurting and shit. Like, oh god, I think I need lumbar support now because I'm old. This sucks.
I think you got kidney stones.
I just might. I just might. We'll see. But I got one of those fucking gaming chairs, like a real incel.
Oh,
I kind of felt dirty about it at first because I'm like, oh, this is a real shitty thing to have. But, it's got all the bells and whistles I like, and it looks neat. And okay, well, all right, whatever. I really like this fucking chair, you guys. It's really comfortable. It's really comfortable, but I look like a right asshole.
Wait until you start going on about PC Master Race.
It's
going to be you soon. You're going to be that guy.
The lumbar pillow vibrates and massages. It's real
I don't know
nice.
why you would ever game on consoles when PCs exist.
I don't even have a PC.
Well, you're gonna get one. It's infected you. It's in your blood.
Oh god, that's just I gotta get like a $3,000 gaming PC now.
You fucking sure
cool.
do. Look what
I'm
you
very
did.
Excited about it.
Look what you did.
Neat.
Time to get
just
into
have to-
fucking, I don't know, Guild Wars or some shit, whatever medieval nerd games they're playing.
Gotta be way into Steam. Steam's
Yeah.
a thing, right? Got to be way
Yeah.
into Steam. Yeah.
Ooh, Lee, I'm probably gonna buy a game on Steam in October.
Yeah?
They're
Is that right?
bringing
What's coming out in
the
October?
30th Super Robot Wars game onto Steam.
Yes, it's also gonna be on Switch and PS4. So fuck Steam.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
But will it have English support on Switch?
My understanding is that it will.
Okay,
so
good.
we shall
Then
see. That's
fuck
my
a Steam.
understanding.
I want to play the game that Gridman is in and some Sentai robots.
Fucking Gridman and Manzinger and some Gal Geigers, all kinds of crazy shit.
270 different IPs.
That's an awful lot of IPs.
It is the Guinness World Record holder now.
Holy shit, that's nuts. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. Just robots fighting robots.
It's the Guinness World Record holder until Space Jam 2 comes out.
Holy shit. So,
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that movie is still not out.
No, it's this Friday.
Is it this Friday?
Fucking finally.
So, they put the LeBron skin in Fortnite, and Jax was like, "Oh, hey, look, it's the Space Jam guy."
Oh no.
Well, I mean,
well, he's not wrong. You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Jax wouldn't know LeBron James from his many years in the NBA. It's not like his dad watches sports.
Jax is a
Nope.
big NBA and NFL connoisseur.
Yeah, fucking going there, he's watching the Sports Center on his tablet, yelling at shit. Well, he's definitely yelling at shit, but not that.
Jax is a big Stephen A. Smith fan.
He's all like, "Come on, Slavinsky." That's all I got. What's up, Nice?
Oh man! So last week we talked. It was the day Zoe had all of her surgeries and stuff like that. So
Dog
Yeah.
Zoe.
Dog Zoe.
Yeah,
yes,
not
yes.
your daughter, Lee. She's
Yeah,
fine.
Dog Zoe.
So she was pretty doped up that day, and it was the first day of looking towards 3 weeks of her wearing this cone and having to give her all this medicine and make sure that she's not licking on her stitches and all that. And we're a week down, and it's gone by pretty quickly, so that's good. We've already got an appointment for her a week from Friday to get her stitches out, but then she'll still have a few more days of wearing the cone just to make sure everything's okay. It's weird, though, because initially when she had this wound, they sent her home with this fabric cone. Real nice, like, polyester fabric cone with Velcro on it, and immediately she figured out how to get out of it. Like, we would put it on, and she would rip it right off of her head. So we said, fuck it with the cone. And then after the surgery, they're like, okay, well, she's really going to have to wear a cone. So they gave her this clear plastic, like, classic dog
Straight up
surgery
cone
cone.
of shame.
Straight up cone of shame. And she is much better with it. She can maneuver better because she can see more. She doesn't try and pull it off as much because it's it's that old school cone technology, so it's not as easy to rip it off. It's not Velcro, it's these little tabs. But she's still...
It just crushes her spirit faster, so it doesn't fight as hard.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
It really does. It's like
Yeah,
a switch
yeah.
flips. As soon as we lock those 3 tabs in, she's like, fuck. All right, well, I guess this is my life now. The real problem is she's a menace with it. It's larger than her head. She isn't very agile, so she's always running into things with it, running into walls, running into doors. The main thing she runs into is the backs of our legs with it, and that plastic is very sharp. It's not comfortable. So when you get up to leave a room and you hear her following behind you, you get a little extra speed in your step because you don't want that scraping against your ankles. So we figured, okay, this thing's a little cumbersome. It doesn't seem super comfortable on her. Let's see if there's any options that we can try out, and we found this. It's basically a doggy neck pillow on Amazon. Little inflatable inner tube with a nice like velour cover on the outside. And we figured, oh, this might work perfectly because not only will she not be harming us as she's walking through the house, but she might actually be able to eat and drink while she's wearing the cone. We wouldn't have to take her cone off every time she wants to eat or drink something.
Just think of the comfort.
Yeah.
So much comfort.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
No, she fucking hated it. Absolutely hated it. Popped it off, put it on her, popped it off immediately. Put it back on her, popped it off immediately. It has these little loops to put a collar through it. So we got a collar, put the collar on, put the inner tube around her neck. She still popped the neck pillow off of her, but the collar was still on her. So she's just kind of wearing it cockeyed. So we went back to the cone. We went back to the fucking plastic sharp-ass cone that we have to wash every day because it smells so bad.
Oh, God.
Because she lays around the house in it and just slobbers in it, and she eats and then she gets it all in there, and she's generally a smelly, gross pig. So imagine basically a smell megaphone. Yeah.
Oh, God.
And you chose to let this goblin in your house.
Excuse me, she's a boglin.
She does look just like a fucking boglin, I told you.
So, but we both feel bad because
Boglin-ass dog.
It seems like we're punishing her, and we're not. We love her so much. Like she fills our heart with such joy that we want to make sure she's healthy and she doesn't hurt herself, and that this surgery heals well, and we can go about our lives afterwards without any issues. So
how long is she supposed to be in the cone?
3 weeks, but she's getting her stitches off a week from Friday. So it's at least another 2 weeks with the cone on.
Yeah. Rocket had to have it for like a month after his gender reassignment surgery. He did not like it either at all.
It's not great. It's not great at all. So we're trying to spoil her a little bit more. We give her we've got 3 of those Kong toys. We fill them with little doggy meatballs and then fill the hole with peanut butter. Put those in the freezer. So she gets a few of those a day.
Throw at him like a skee ball game.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. I threw a treat at her the other day and it landed right above her nose and stayed there, and I was like, I just got the high score. So we give her the Kongs to kind of treat her, and she gets time out of the cone when she's using those because she's licking the Kong, she's not licking her feet. She gets a lot of her chewy bones, and because she's so needy right now, I can't play as much Fortnite with her sitting on the couch because she wants love, she wants snuggles, and it's not the normal, hey, I'm over here, pet me. It's this giant plastic cone jabbing itself in your side.
You have the Pixar lamp trying to hang out with you.
Yeah, I'm being accosted by a Latin Grammy. So lately in the morning, after she has her Kong, after she has her food, and we put her cone back on her, I pick her up. Well, also, she's not supposed to be running or jumping at all, so I have to pick her up and put her on the couch and take her off the couch if I ever want to treat her and let her snuggle up on the couch with us. So that's a little awkward. But because I want to pay attention to her and give her some love, instead of playing a lot of Fortnite in the mornings, I've been putting on movies. So I've been introducing Zoe to the filmography of Quentin Tarantino. We've watched Reservoir Dogs and we've watched Pulp Fiction. She's not super interested in it, but I don't know. Maybe by the time we get to Django, she'll really be into it. Maybe Kill Bill Volume 2 will really speak to her.
I feel like she's gonna love Jackie Brown. I don't know why.
Maybe
Jackie Brown's gonna be a winner.
Yeah. Jackie Brown is a lot of people's favorite, so that the soundtrack will probably do it for her. And the fact that it's a female lead.
Yeah.
Uma Thurman is like the second lead in Pulp Fiction, but Jackie Brown, she's the lead, so she'll appreciate the female empowerment of that.
Yeah, for sure. That's people don't know this a lot, but English Bulldogs, big feminists.
Yeah. So that's how my hot dog dad life's going lately.
Real hot dog dad.
Dog dad.
Fucking nonsense. What you got going on, Kelly?
Not much. It's another just weekend going by, building more models. Built this I built one of those entry grade kits. Lee, you said you got some of those for Jax, right?
Yeah.
I built the Ultraman Zero one. They're fun builds.
Yeah, he did a Goku and a Pac-Man and a Kamen Rider 01. He really fucking liked them.
Yeah, they're like, it's really interesting how the builds how they all fit together, like because it's big chunks of plastic, and so it's not as snappy as like your other Gundam kits would be. It more kind of stuff slides together. Like they're cool.
I'll be damned if they don't look really good when they're done.
Yeah, no, like I'm super impressed with the Ultraman Zero, and like the stickers look great, and yeah, I'm really happy with it. So I built that guy. I started in on the real grade Evo 01 with the platform set. Excited to get that one done. Got a Liger Zero from Kotobukiya on the way. That one I'm real hyped about. Lee, did you end up buying it?
No. Not yet. Looks really fucking cool, though.
Yeah. Yeah,
This is a sign.
It is.
Time to sign in and get it.
Yep. Yeah, so I watched a bunch more wrestling because, this is a wrestling podcast. And it was perfect because on Sunday there was 2 deathmatch shows with exactly 2 hours and 15 minutes between them.
Okay.
Do you guys know what is 2 hours and 15 minutes long?
Ooh. That would be Marvel Studios' Black Widow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, hold on a second. This is perfect.
Did you seriously?
What? Yeah.
Did you Mahoney it?
No, I watched it in between 2 wrestling shows. There was the AWR show.
Okay.
At 2.
I thought you were saying that the length of the 2 wrestling shows was 2 hours and 15 minutes. So
No,
you did a simulcast.
No, that would have been a good idea, though.
Yeah, that is definitely an accurate depiction of Mahoneying it.
Yeah.
If you just watched wrestling and Black Widow at the same time, then yes, congratulations.
But paid
Mahoney.
attention to neither.
Yeah, and then at the end, you're like, I have a vague understanding of what happened in both of those, but not a good understanding of either.
Yeah. I was working on model kits through them all, though.
Yeah, that's just called life.
Yeah. Yeah, another good weekend for ICW shows. Those are all on independentwrestling.tv. I'd recommend them. They're a lot of fun. That's really about it. Monday morning, it got announced that I have a new wrestling podcast.
Hell yeah.
Is that right?
I will be joining as the new co-host on the Voices of Wrestling Network's Jumping Bomb Audio, which is our show on Japanese women's wrestling.
Jumping Bomb?
Yeah, that Jumping Bomb Angels was a Japanese women's wrestling tag team in the late 80s, early 90s.
Okay.
So
This will be on the test, Mahoney.
you're gonna you're gonna have to bone up a little bit to participate in a Japanese women's wrestling podcast there, Kelly. You sure you can hang?
I think I'll do fine. There is tons I don't watch. So there are things I'm gonna have to pick up on. Just gonna, if I want to catch up on Wave, I gotta watch that. And gotta watch Pure J probably. No one needs to watch Pure J.
What's
good,
the one?
But it's all recorded on a tin can.
What's the one that you pointed out to us that one time? What was it called? Like Sea King or something like that?
Seedling. They just had a show the other day that I've heard the 2 co-main events are very good. I haven't watched them yet, but I'm excited.
Seedling. Come.
There's women's wrestling on it, so I might even talk some Glee.
Oh, man.
You never know. Everybody loves Glee. Mahoney, do you love Glee?
You know it.
I know Mahoney loves to Glee.
Do you, like, besides the wrestling promotion, do you guys have a definition for the word Glee?
Yeah, it's great, but spelled with an L.
Now, see, I know the word gleet as when you, like, make a movement with your tongue and it shoots little droplets of spit out of your mouth. And that's a that's a gleet.
Okay.
Oh, see, I heard that was a gleek with a K at the end.
Oh, it must be a regional thing.
Yeah, it must be regional. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when Kelly said it, I was like, the spitting thing? Like...
No, it's Glee, but it's actually like great because in Japanese,
oh no,
L's and R's are essentially the same thing.
No, you're trying to trap us.
And the company that owns Glee is Ledet, so there's the L, so that's why it's Glee. They always pronounce it as great. But they don't seem to correct anybody that says Glee, so everyone just kind of says Glee because it's more fun.
Oh,
who would they correct?
Wrestlers and fans.
Ay. This is really something. So there's this company. We all say their name wrong. They don't do shit about it.
They're real cool with it.
No, like you do.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta Glee.
Juggalo John in the chat says that he heard it like Lee said it, like Gleek. But isn't that just the Wonder
the
Twins monkey?
Yeah.
that is the Super Friends monkey too. Yes.
Does he spit when he talks?
You were like, oh, it's because L's and R's are practically the same thing. And I was like about to say like, oh, so we can just call you Kerry. And I was like, no, that sounds like a stereotypical Asian accent. Like, this all feels bad, Kelly.
Yeah.
But also would not be inaccurate.
If you were to translate my name to Japanese, that's what it would be.
It would be Carrie Hellis. Carrie Hellis.
Like Lee would be
educational podcast.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it'd
Ree
be
Rodriguez. And I would be Jason Nyes.
There you go. Educational podcast.
Yep. You guys have learned a lot today.
Yeah, I think we all have.
What about you? Haven't learned?
My favorite fun fact was when Lee was like, you know, that thing where you stick things up your dick. I know the name and all the details.
I know a lot about a lot, Mahoney. I'm a very learned man.
I guess so.
Lee, not only is he a lord and a reverend, but Lee is also a certified freak.
Yep. He's shoving all kinds of things in there.
I will go on record as saying that has definitely never happened. Like, good God, no.
Lee's like, hang on, check this out. I can shove Optimus's arm in here.
Oh, Jesus.
He puts Optimus in, wiggles a little bit, and it comes out transformed. Like a cherry stem.
Look, don't be ridiculous. That would never work. It would just be like, you know, the little fist that goes on the end of the figure. That would be hanging out of there. Don't be preposterous, okay? It would just be the removable fist. Come on. Fucking ridiculous.
What do you call it when you make a fart out of your pee hole?
I mean, it's not a queef.
It's not.
It'd be like a man queef, yeah.
How about we call it a bliff?
No, no, you call it a heaf. A heaf cleave. It'd be a heaf. New listeners who found this via the algorithm. We are definitely going to talk about Black Widow at some point.
New listeners who found me because I'm hosting a new wrestling podcast you already enjoy and are wondering what this host is like. Yeah, it's gonna be like this. Sorry.
That's not him. He doesn't sound like that anymore.
Yeah, I don't sound like that.
Woo! All right. So, tell Michael, anything going on when you're not having kidney stones that we're talking about?
I'm just getting back to work after being laid off for a month, so it's been.
God damn.
I'm still working from home, so at least there's.
There you go.
There's
That's
that.
good. That's good.
But, you know, I just ditched work like 2.5 hours early on Friday so I could go see Black Widow because I'm kind of like pissed at my employer, so fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what? They just kind of laid you off for a month without pay just to save some fucking money at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, not at the end, but a year and a half into the pandemic.
Yeah. Last year when everything was like when all the shit was hitting the fan, they laid off a bunch of people. So I work for a university, and they laid off just a bunch of people. And we felt like we had like an axe hanging over our heads for months because they weren't giving us information. And then we found out, like my department, I work in nursing, found out that like we were all safe, but instead of flat out cutting us, they were going to reduce us from instead of full-time employment, it would be 0.85. So instead of 12 months, I would be working 10 months. But they told us it would only be for a year, and that we would be reinstated after our layoff, and that they would not contest unemployment, so we could get unemployment. This was in July of last year. I volunteered to not be laid off, which sounds weird, but like I volunteered not to be laid off last summer because it would have hurt my department more. Even though if I had been laid off, I would have been making so much more money because of all of the extra COVID, unemployment money that people were getting. Mm-hmm. So I didn't get laid off. We come approaching my layoff period, and my employer informs us that they're going to contest unemployment. They're not going to let us have unemployment. And this created a whole thing where like we have it in writing where you said you wouldn't contest it. We have spent an entire year assuming that we would get unemployment. And so we fought back or pushed back, and some bullshit thing was worked out where we could get 4 additional weeks of work if we wanted. And that way we'd only be laid off for a month instead of 2. And so I took that because I couldn't guarantee that I'd get unemployment, even though I didn't want to work the extra weeks because I was so burnt out. I'm like, I just want to be done. And I ended up getting screwed over because of that, because they changed how they were. I'm salary, and they changed me to hourly, and it ended up costing me $250. So I worked just as much as I normally do and got less money. Then I got laid off. Tried to do unemployment. I'm still waiting. It's been 3 weeks since I first certified. I've never been on unemployment before, so it's a whole new experience. And my employer did not submit the proper paperwork in time, so that stopped me from getting unemployment. And then now what's stopping me is the fact that for some reason the state can't verify my identity. They made me submit pictures of my driver's license, my birth certificate, my social security card, a picture of me holding my license to verify that it was actually mine.
What the fuck?
And that's been almost a month now since I submitted all that, and it's still nothing. So it's been not my favorite experience. So I'm at this point with my employer where I'm very much fuck 'em, and I'm doing the bare minimum that I have to do to just escape. Before I would bust my ass, because my job is to help students, advise them, and I recruit them. It's very hard to be a recruiter when you hate the place you're recruiting for.
For sure.
No, that's fair.
So
the moral of the story, kids, if you're listening out there, is never trust your boss.
Nope.
Yeah.
And
they're not your
It's a
family.
good lesson to learn.
Yeah, and they also told us that it would only be a year that this would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've heard through the grapevine that it's 3 years minimum.
Oh
Yeah, now they're like, look how much money we saved.
exactly.
Yeah,
And
Well, the
nobody
thing-
even quit.
Why
So
would we
let's
go
just keep
back?
fucking them over.
Yeah.
The thing that makes me the maddest, honestly, they did this supposedly to save money. My salary comes out of this endowment that nursing has. That is just a nursing endowment. It's millions of dollars in there. They pay me out of that.
Oh, so it's free money?
It's basically like the nursing has this like free money. And it wasn't nursing's decision. It was a higher up decision to lay me off for this. So I'm thinking, okay. And they didn't, we went back and forth and we were unsure, but they didn't, we got to keep our benefits during the layoff period. So the place was still paying into the benefits. All they saved was my salary, but they don't even pay it. The university doesn't pay it. So they literally laid me off for nothing. They did not save any money. It saved money in the endowment, but nursing didn't care if money came out of the endowment. They didn't care. So, yeah. So it's
There's some fuckery afoot.
yeah. So it's I'm not thrilled with my employer, but so now I'm back and I get to work remotely at least through the rest of the summer. So I know that I'm basically doing what they're afraid of workers doing when they're remote, but I'm only doing it because they fucked me over. Before all this, I was like busting my ass still. Now I'm not.
Yeah.
So
You're taking shitting on the clock to the next level.
Yep. I went and saw Black Widow on the clock, and tomorrow I'm going on a 6 or 7 mile walk with a friend. Screw him.
Gross.
I'm just done. So anyway, that's been my the month of layoff was not a fun month with all I had a bunch of stuff going on. So I'm ready for. I kind of just want to go in like a recreational coma for a while, for a month, to recharge.
Fuck that, man. Get you some greener pastures. Fuck those people.
Oh, I'm definitely going to be. I'm starting to search. And I didn't really search much when I was unemployed because a bunch of other stuff was going on, but also because I want to search for a new job on the clock of my current job because
Totally.
Again, fuck them.
Let them pay for it.
Yeah.
I could have got a job on my old job. I interviewed and everything, and they paid for the whole fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome.
Yep. So, yeah. Other than that, I've finally started reading comics. I'd only been reading Power Ranger comics for the last few months, so I've started to, catch back up on some stuff. And also, I've just had this really strong urge to read late 80s and early 90s Marvel comics. So I've been reading some old Captain America, Avengers West Coast.
Oh, all right.
I just read the first issue of Force Works last night, which I've never read before.
Oh, you're speaking Mahoney's language.
Yeah.
Get to the second to last issue, and you're gonna see a letter.
I will say the U.S. agent design for Force Works is one of my least favorite comic book costume designs I've ever seen in my entire life.
The thing on his nose is just really strange.
It really is.
Really strange.
I could be fine with it otherwise, but the thing on the damn nose is just it's awful.
Yeah,
I don't understand it.
Design.
Right, I'll look this up.
It's not. You're right. It's not unsalvageable, but it's what have you done? Why did you do this?
Yeah, you could with a few tweaks, it could be fine, not the best costume ever, but fine.
Right.
But it just doesn't flow well. But I liked the issue fine when I read. I'm gonna keep reading it. So I don't know. I also bought the Sega Genesis version of Captain America and the Avengers.
Oh shit!
And because I have the Super Nintendo, the SNES version, and I've always liked that, but it was always kind of I didn't really get very far in it. And then I just had this urge to look it up, and I saw a bunch of people saying the Super Nintendo version is shit, get the Genesis version. So I went to a used game store that I live by, and luckily they had one, and I hooked it up and played it the other day, and it's a lot of fun. I think I'm just when stress comes, I just want to revert back to the 90s when I was a child and it was simpler times.
Yeah. Can't blame you.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a word for that somewhere.
Yeah, I with all my psychological training, I should remember what it is, but I don't. But yeah, so that's about it. Not the most fun, but I'm plugging along.
Fucking good on you, man. What's going on, Mahoney? Tell us a story. How's things?
Things are hectic. Things are busy. We have typically in July we throw a party, Christmas in July, and we have all of my wife's family, half of which is from North Carolina and half is up here, and they all come, and we have a water slide and all of these activities, and it's a big hit. Everybody loves it, and it's all very exciting. And so that is coming up because everyone is vaccinated, except for my kids because they're too young, but everybody else is vaccinated.
Losers.
And so, I know, right? Get older already. That is Thursday. Everybody comes into town on Thursday. And so the preparation for that is just... if you took 18 months of just not cleaning your house and then we're like, what if 20 people came to your house? It's that. It's literally okay, well, I guess I should deal with this pile of trash and random assorted old mail that has been stacked over here for the whole pandemic. So it's a lot of catch up on things of that nature.
Maybe as a society, we just need to come to an agreement that all of our houses are a little gross. And if you're having me over to your house, you don't have to clean. It's fine.
I wouldn't even feel bad about that, except I have to make room for them to exist.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I gotta fit a lot of beds into this house. And so I gotta finally pick up all the Legos that are on the floor in the playroom that I'm those are fine. They're playing with those. They haven't touched them in 4 months, but they're playing with those Legos. I don't want to put them away. So it's all of those types of chores. And then random nervous energy because, I haven't seen anybody in a year and a half. And there's some...
Oh.
Okay.
They got him.
I thought it was Google Meet. There we go.
Am I back?
Yeah.
I'm back.
You're back.
Where'd you lose me?
You were talking about the random nervous energy because, you haven't seen anybody in a
I
while.
haven't seen anybody. And sometimes it's 9 o'clock at night, and you're like, I think I should stain the front deck right now. I should get the fucking stain and stain the front deck immediately right now because it's going to rain at 11. So if I don't do it right now, when am I supposed to do it?
And if you're doing something, if you're keeping yourself busy, then you don't have to feel feelings.
Exactly. See,
I know Mahoney. I know him.
Or when I was like, you know what? There's an outlet right here on this wall, but there should be an outlet over here on this other wall, which I think I did last week, so I might have even told this story. But all sorts of little things like that. I've gone to every grocery store in the tri-state area to get all the different things that I'm like, oh, I should have this for this person, and I should have that for this person. And the other day we went out to lunch and I bought a car. I was like, we should buy a car. We went.
Oh, lost him again.
Car people got him.
God damn it!
You're back.
So
you're back.
yeah, we went out to lunch. We were going to go to the grocery store, but on our way, we passed a dealership that was like, "We'll pay you cash for your car, even if you don't buy one." And I was like, "You know what? My car is a giant pain in my ass, and I'm ready for it to just be gone."
Get out of my
life. And I think we should just sell it. Get it out of the driveway because we're not going anywhere. And I have a sedan, or I had a sedan. And so we would never take it anywhere. So I'd never drive it. So then every time I try to start it, because I haven't started it in 6 weeks, it doesn't start because the battery's dead now. Because you can't just let a car sit. It has to get used.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't use it, then your battery dies and your whole car won't die. And then if you, heaven forbid, somebody turns your car on and backs it out of the garage and then turns it off, and that's the only activity it has for 2 months, all you've done is drain the battery and it doesn't charge because your car battery charges while you're driving your car. So if you never charge your battery, if you never drive your car, the shit just dies. So my car was just sitting in the driveway, and people would be like, well, we don't want to get rid of your car because then we'll only have one car. And it's like, well, do we have two? Because like this one is a hunk of like trash, and like every time I try to start it, I have to jump start it. So do we have two cars? Like, does it even count? So I was like, we should sell my car to a dealership. And we had this probably 20-minute debate of like, no, that's a terrible idea. We shouldn't sell it to a dealership. Like, and then it ended with like, let's go buy a car right now. And so we went to a dealership and we were like, yeah, we want, they had one Toyota Venza left. And I was like, yeah, awesome. Ring it up. And they were like, do you have a trade? And it was like, yes, but not with us. And they were like, that's interesting. Like, that's not how that usually goes. Like, well, people don't usually just on a whim show up at a dealership and be like, I'll take it. Wrap it up. Put a bow on it. So that's my life.
And the car buying experience it's such an enjoyable, relaxing time to spend a Saturday.
Oh, it's just wonderful. It's just a good time. I will say these guys were better than the last place I went. The last place I went when we bought Lisa's van, I fought with them for like 2 hours to get the price to what I wanted it to be. And when we got the price to what I wanted it to be, and it was this heated back and forth with me and the sales guy and the manager and all these people coming over, and me being like, I send whoever you want over here. It's got to be this price or I'm not going to do it. And we finally come to an agreement, and they come over and they run my credit, and they come back with my credit and all my information, and they're like, well, it says here that you're doing pretty well for yourself, so not sure why we had to fight so hard for so long. And I raised my hands to the sky at the Taj Mahal car dealership I was in and said, seems like you're doing pretty well for yourself. Like, we are in a probably $10 to $20 million mansion here. I think you've got the dough to spot me the like $3,000 we fought over. You know, like it was ridiculous.
Wonderful.
You see, I had the patience for that. Like, we went and looked for cars like a couple of times, and like if they're like, oh yeah, it's X, and I don't want to pay X, I'm like, no thanks, bye. And if they tell me X and it's good, I'm like, that'll work. I'm not doing that fucking nonsense. I don't have time for it.
Just don't let them keep your driver's licenses hostage.
What?
I had one time I went to get a car for Lisa's mom. And I was like, show me what you got for used cars. And they showed me, and I was like, all right. Like, I'm going to go. You don't have anything I'm interested in, I'm going to go. And they were like, we have another lot down the street. Let me drive you over to it.
Oh, no.
And I was like,
a second location.
No, I'm not going to do that. And they were like, why? And I was like, because I don't want to drive to your other lot. And they were like, but you're going to drive to whatever place. And I'm like, I am not going to get in a car with you to be driven to who knows where and then have to rely on you to drive me back. I'm just not going to do that.
That's a trap.
You see where I'm not going to do that, right? Like,
Yeah, see, I didn't know.
How is this a sales technique? If I was a single woman and it's like, no, hop in this car. I'm going to drive you into the woods and sell you a used car. I'd be like, no, thanks.
Yeah, I didn't know that tactic when we were shopping for our new car. And we went to this one place. First, they wanted our driver's license for the test drive, which I understand. But they were very eager to get paperwork done before we even stepped foot in a car, which was weird right off the bat. So they took our driver's license.
They need your driver's license to make a copy.
Right.
And then you get it back immediately. Like, you shouldn't leave without it.
They did the trick where they took us to a second location, and it's like, okay, whatever. And then we come back, and they start telling us numbers that are just not jiving with what we want. And we're like, okay, we're ready to go. And they disappear. And they've got our driver's licenses, so we can't fucking leave, so we're just stuck there. and they just keep
I would've
dancing.
burned that place to the fucking
They keep
ground.
dancing around it, and every time they didn't come back with our driver's license, we got more and more mad, and then finally they gave them to us, and we got the fuck out of there. Like, don't. And the lady was giving us the, but I got 3 kids line.
Oh, good.
Oh, fuck off.
Made me think of Total Recall.
Ridiculous.
Man, I'm not even married.
I got 3 kids to feed.
Horrible.
All right, Mahoney.
Horrible.
Well, I hope your week gets better. I know it'll continue to be stressful, but hopefully once the family gets there, you'll have some good times. And
Oh, it'll be fun.
It'll be
It'll
great.
be a fun time. Everybody will have a nice time.
And
It'll be good to see them all.
and
Haven't
hopefully
seen them in a very long time.
you'll get to watch Black Widow at some point without
We'll
them.
see. I don't know when that will be, but hopefully soon.
Do it right now.
Lee, the moment I'm finished here, I'm surely to be enlisted into mopping the floor. So
Well, that's the problem, is that you don't need to tell anyone that you're not doing this anymore. Every once in a while,
they will
just
hear that I'm not talking.
just put on Black Widow, watch Black Widow, and once in a while go, holy shit, nice, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, you just talk every now and then.
Yeah, they go, oh man, Lee, what a
Just
that
make up
story
a
is.
list of things you would think Juan would send in.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
say it.
Pretend you're a
That's
Twitch
not a bad
streamer.
idea. Not a bad idea at all. Be like, next up on the Discord, Juan's top 6 things he likes to eat.
Yeah.
Not pussy.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking got him.
I got a
You
lot
are
of nervous
salty today.
energy, Juan. I'm sorry.
You are salty today. Whew. I'm just saying. There's a way to make this work,
but
and
also-
I would never fucking sell you out, Mahoney.
Also,
We'll
I
never
will not
sell
be
you out.
here. I won't be here next week.
Or
so-
probably the week after that.
Or probably the week after that. So I'll probably be gone for 2 weeks.
Well,
But
fucking,
that's okay.
we didn't even mention that Jose wasn't here tonight. He was supposed to show up with 6 talks this week, so maybe we'll make him fill in the next 2
That's
weeks
true,
with talks.
yeah.
How long is this fucking event that you're hosting? Are you gonna have
Thursday
a fucking
to
house
Sunday.
full of people?
Well, the tournament
Okay.
begins next Monday, and it's going to take a full week to finish that off, and then you've got recovery period. Like, Mahoney's
So
not
maybe
going
I
to
will
be
here the week after.
good
Let me
to go after kicking the shit out of his entire family.
Yeah, I only missed the 20th. I'm good on the 27th.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I was just thinking, like, are you gonna have fucking 2 weeks worth of people in your house? I would just kill myself.
It's
That would
close.
not go
It
well.
was the thing where I was like, hey, like none of us have done anything in a long time, so we should probably let's plan on like a long weekend. Let's do like Thursday to Sunday, or like like Friday to Sunday even. Like let's just keep it real chill. And then they were like, yeah.
10 days.
10 days. 10 days. I was like, that's not
Long
chill at all.
weekend.
It's so funny
That's
because
It's
too
the
long.
longest
Like,
of weekends.
our visits to the Mahoneys over the years have been one of the highlights of my life for the past 5 or so years. But even though it's one of my favorite things to do, once you get to day 4, you're like, all right, this is enough.
It's
Take
time to
me
go
home.
Yeah, it's time to go home. Like, no matter how good a time you're having, it's like,
There's
cool.
no
yeah.
shame in that. Like there's
No.
nothing wrong with that. Like that's just it's good to notice that and be like, this is too long. Like I don't want to be anywhere for 10 days.
Yeah, imagine you're on day 4 and you're like, okay, this is enough. And then you're like, oh, there's 6 more days? Nice.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Not even halfway. Like
I'm not like, I talk a lot about my weird ass family and whatever, all this stuff. But I like no bit, no joke, straight shooter. I cannot think of a single person in my family that does not live in this house that I don't want to spend 10 days with. Like there's not a fucking one. Like not even not a single one. Like that's too much.
see, I think I could probably take 10 of a single one.
Most of them I don't want to spend 10 minutes with.
Well,
like
yeah.
much less 10 days. Fuck.
I think I could do 10 days with one of them. And pretty much any one of them. Like, probably half of them.
Okay, like 3 guys.
But all
Three
of
dudes.
them, it is a lot. But, it's still even with it being like, here's my thing. When it's them, when it's you guys, no matter who it is, there is always a point, and this is the worst part of the whole thing for me, where everybody is like, oh, Dan is uncomfortable. Like, he is not... Mahoney's uncomfortable. Because, honestly, some of you might have been like, who the fuck is Dan? But anyway, like, there's a point where everybody in the room is like, oh, Dan, like, he's uncomfortable, and that's the worst part of the whole thing for me. Like, it's still a great time. I don't want it to not happen. I enjoy that everybody's there, and I love, like, the memories that it makes and all. Like, I love it. I love all of it. But yeah, eventually at some point, I'm going to be like, I would like this to not be happening right now.
Can you all please just leave me alone for a little while?
Like, it's going to happen. It's inevitable. It's going to happen, and it's going to be my least favorite part of the whole thing. But it doesn't change that it's still a wonderful time, and we'll have pictures and memories and stories forever, and it'll all be good.
Well, that's the right attitude. I'm happy for you, because I generally don't share that same attitude for these kind of things.
But also, we're here for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I also had that same moment. Everyone knows it's going to come, but no one really gives a shit. So when it was like, oh, yeah, Lisa's uncomfortable now, they're like, as you were. They just continue on. But that's okay, because I know my place. And that's how that works. Okay. Well, Godspeed, Mahoney. Good luck.
Thank you.
And, tell everybody I said hi, especially that one guy.
I will.
All right.
Ooh, is my favorite cartoonist going to be there?
No.
Ooh, that's
no.
Oh, why not? What's he doing?
Other side of the family.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. This is like the in-laws. I don't want to spend 10 days with any of those people. Yeah. That's unnatural. It ain't right. Is what it is.
Remember when you got snowed in, Lee?
Woo! You do. Boy, do I. All right. What we got for classic this week, Knives?
Oh, boy. This is like a real classic. And thank you to Mahoney for helping me find this, because it was like a needle in a haystack. So this is from Popcast number 74. From
74.
From September 28th, 2010. 11 years ago.
Wow.
All I'm going to tell you is you will believe we can teach a duck to speak Russian.
All right. Enjoy this blast from the far, far past. We're back in a little bit. Love you. Bye. Bye, Mahoney.
Enjoy the refreshing taste of an ice-cold Popcast classic.
Marina Baccarin from V, and she was also on Firefly, is rumored to be doing research on the Wasp. There's a report that she's been going to comic shops and just buying up a shitload of Avengers comics and specifically asking for the Wasp. And, Firefly is a Joss Whedon property. They've been
playing... She would make a fantastic Wasp, I think.
She really would, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt.
And he likes to reuse people.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. But they've been steadfast in their claim that Wasp isn't going to be in... Well, they haven't said that she's not going to be in. They've said that
specific
Scarlett Johansson
there's
as
only
Black
one
Widow
female character in Avengers.
Yeah.
Well, did he say female lead or female character?
Man, if there's only one female character, that fucking helicarrier is going to be a sausage fest.
I was just thinking that.
So,
there needs to be a line where Nick Fury's like, can't we get some skirts up here?
Nick Fury's like, where are the white women at?
And other Avengers Universe news coming out this week is Marvel Studios is planning on doing a Black Widow solo spin-off movie.
Did you say blank?
That would
Blank Winnow.
Lee, weren't you tweeting just this past weekend saying that they needed to do a movie with Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, and this news story comes out?
That makes me happy. It's like they were paying attention. Well, I mean, I would love this. I would love this because I just read Black Widow #6 came out this week, and it was just good. And that book's been just good. And you know how badass would just a badass chick spy movie would be great. You know, she was fucking window dressing in Iron Man 2. You know, like let her do something and be a badass spy. You know, that'd be great.
But is she going to follow the story of her stunt double going to do everything?
Wait, one at a time.
See more of her ass.
Is she going to do awesome things, or is her stunt double going to do awesome things?
What the fuck ever? I don't care.
I think in this day and age, you got to have respect
for
Matrix. People that do their own fucking stunts.
Oh, I do.
They're actually in there doing it.
Oh, I do. I do respect them more.
After the Matrix, they set the bar on if you get a role, you better be able to fucking do it.
Yeah.
If not, don't take the fucking role.
But
Because there's somebody else who will do it.
Yeah, but you know what? Scarlett Johansson can do it. She puts the boobs in the suit. She's playing the role.
That bullshit.
You know what?
Yeah,
Anybody could have put boobs in a suit.
But it takes away, she's not the only pair of tits and fine ass in Hollywood that could have played that role. And I'm sure there's somebody else who's hot as shit who could play the role and do the moves, so you're not, so that every fight scene isn't her from behind.
And probably doesn't seem like a rancid bitch either.
And but there's so much more to that character. Like it could be so entertaining and so much fun.
I thought she trained for that role, from what I heard. That she was like training for that one fight sequence. But then you're saying
she barely was it.
You can see it.
Stunt double all the way.
You can see that. They don't. Her face is not in a lot of those shots. And there's one shot where her face is in it, and it ain't her. I mean, it's pretty clear.
I think the one that's her is when she looks up.
Yeah.
And then they yelled stunt cock.
I'm sure she trained, meaning she hit the gym so that she could fit into the costume.
Yeah.
Because she had to look like her stunt double. It couldn't be like Spaceball shit, where she's fucking tubby and got a mustache, and then her stunt double's fucking awesomely fit and doing ninja flips.
We ain't about shit!
You've got those stunt doubles! Those Avengers! That's not Tony Stark!
Decoy.
God damn it!
I really hope that they do this right, because it'd be fun. Like I think it'd be.
And you know, maybe the other
I don't know why I keep having Elektra flash through my head when I hear Black Widow movie.
But
oh god. See, we completely forgot that she doesn't even have the fucking accent.
Doesn't even try. Doesn't even give an effort. Doesn't even try.
Even give like a half-ass.
Try to fuck it up. Or at least you can complain like, Jesus Christ, she's butchering it. It's no.
I'm going to say this. I didn't have any problem with her not having the accent.
We know.
In the Iron Man movie. But I'm saying, if they do a Black Widow movie where it's actually about the character of Natasha Romanova, she damn well better have the accent in at least some scenes.
She's not going to.
Why would you show it then, but you don't show it with
if she could learn it between now and then, I'm saying.
No, they'll send her to Mother Russia for a scene.
In the Iron Man movie, I don't feel it was necessary. She's an American spy, whatever. But if you're going to do the actual story about her, and it's not just her talking to Tony Stark in 5-minute increments, then there damn well better be some actual real focus on who that character was. And
it won't happen because when they were doing the contract signing, she goes, okay, cool, so this is a Russian who can kick ass. All right, check this out. You take out the Russian and you take out the me having to kick ass, I'll wear heels and some tight clothes. And they said, cool, deal.
I tell you what, Kerouac, if in the Black Widow spin-off movie, if Scarlett Johansson utters one syllable in a fucking Russian accent, I will change my opinion of Scarlett Johansson of not being, I'm going to use some salty language here, not being such a horrible
What the fuck, dude?
Wow.
That's harsh. Goddamn, Mel Gibson. I don't know that we don't drop the C-bomb on the show. We have very few rules. That's kind of barriers. That's one of them.
standards.
We did say salty language.
We did.
Mark that.
Yeah.
The only things I got to do from this week was the aforementioned Black Widow #6, which is just damn good. It's the start of a new arc.
Yeah, it is.
Dwayne Brzezinski writing it. Good. It's just good. I mean, period. The end. Game over, man. It's just really good.
She's some sexy art too.
Yeah. Very good art. Very good book. It's she's trying to save this guy who was the son. He's a reporter who's the son of a political figure, a senator, somewhat, who died after being seen with a mysterious redheaded woman. And basically, the same redheaded woman, widow, has been linked to 4 or 5 other guys that have died, and he's trying to discover the truth. But some other chick comes along who's trying to save him from the widow, who was dressed up like a dude, and so they have a secret agent fight on a convertible because they're fucking badass secret agents. But the widow hasn't really been with those dudes; it's been an imposter, and the shit goes crazy. It was good. It's a good. That's the one. That's the book. And I've been enjoying this book from the beginning, but this is the issue. I'm like, fuck, this would be a cool movie. So, I mean, if they can do that, put Scarlett Johansson stunt double on the front of, a Corvette and just going down the interstate fighting a chick, that'd be cool as shit. I would be all over that.
When I read that as an article for the news today, I immediately thought of issue 6 and said, you know what? Sure.
Yeah,
I would pay to see that.
It's good, man.
It was tits and action.
Yeah.
And
I'd pay to watch Scarlett Johansson's double do that.
Yeah, exactly. It was a fun book, and I liked it a lot. Also, Darkwing Duck. I prioritized Darkwing Duck over a lot of things because it's been really good so far. They brought in Scrooge McDuck into this book. They're totally doing some crossover shit. Yeah,
I need to get this.
Totally.
When is the trade coming out?
It should be soon. And this is, they sort of ended it here, but it said, it ended with not the end. So I heard that they're doing an ongoing of this, and I desperately hope it's true. It ends with Negaduck and Morgana LeQuack, what the fuck her name, Lestrange, what the fuck her name was, the crazy, fucking Joan Rivers duck. Yeah. No, the Joan Rivers duck, whoever the hell she was, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
They're looking
Joan
to a crystal
Rivers
ball.
duck.
She talked kind of like Joan Rivers trying to do a Russian accent. She it's been 20 years.
Oh, so Joan Rivers duck can do a Russian accent, but fucking Scarlett Johansson can't?
Yeah.
We can teach a duck to speak Russian, but we can't teach a fucking redhead hottie.
Nothing quenches your thirst quite like a Popcast classic. What a ride.
What a ride.
I don't know what my deal was with Scarlett Johansson back in 2010, but hey, she definitely spoke in a Russian accent in the Black Widow movie, and my opinion had changed of her a while back, but man, 2010 Nyes was on
2010 Nyes had some hot takes.
Yeah.
On a variety of subjects.
I was wondering if that was one of the... I couldn't remember if it was from that episode, one of my other favorite quotes from Nyes regarding Scarlett Johansson. I remember there was a discussion about her, boobs weren't as big or something. And
yeah.
And I think Jose said that she may have had secret cancer, and Nyes said that was his favorite kind of cancer.
Oh my god.
It's one of my favorite Popcast lines.
I don't know if it was the same episode, but that definitely sounds like something we both would have said. Not disputing it. But that was the same episode where we got the whole Dexter bit from and Gandalf in an FMK. It was a real...
that's a hell of an episode. That's a powerhouse.
Action-packed episode. And I cut out the part where Kerouac yelled the F word a couple times.
Yikes.
We all sounded like shit.
Except me, because I wasn't there.
Oh, goddamn. All right, so fucking Black Widow came out, you guys. Finally, Black Widow came out. And it's so funny because, Nicole's like, Black Widow died. I'm like, yes, but this takes place before she died. And she has all these fucking questions, like, okay, when and how and where is all this stuff, whatever. And I'm like, I haven't seen the fucking movie. I don't know. I'm pretty sure, it's. Are around the Civil War period, whatever. So I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. But like, I don't know. Like, you're asking me like crucial details.
Jose was under the impression it took place in the 1980s, and I'm like, fucking what?
No, Jose mixed that up with Wonder Woman.
Yeah. I'm trying to tell her what's going. Trying my best, and I'm like, I don't. Here, how about we turn the movie on?
Let the movie tell us.
Pretty sure they're going to let us know what's up.
No. You explain now, mister.
So funny. And then, like, it didn't take long before she was like, okay, all right, I'm sorry.
I get it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Although it was kind of fun, though, when, kind of the prologue is very good, showing her back in her whole
did not
fake
expect
Russian family.
Did not expect them to have a fake Russian sleeper cell family in Ohio in 1995.
I got to explain to Nicole that that's a thing that happened, and she was like, "Fucking what?" Like, well, yeah, that should happen like a lot back in the day. And that's the entire plot of that show, The Americans. She was like, "What? Get the fuck out of here!" I'm like, "I will not.
This is my house."
It's like, why are they giving those kids away? He goes, they're probably not even their kids. It's like, what? I'm like,
I got confused for a bit in that scene because I thought Natasha was a little boy. So I was like, all right, when's this dude going to come into play? Like, I just never saw him again. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
It's so funny, though, because we all know what Scarlett Johansson looked like as a little kid. So, like, they couldn't get someone a little closer, but
a little less handsome. That's a handsome child.
I love the whole bit about, okay, so remember we told you we were going to go on a big adventure. Tonight's the night. And they're like, all right, let's fucking go. Where's my shoes? You don't need your shoes. We got fruit roll-ups in the car. And then little Yelena's pulling the blocks from underneath the plane. They all have their roles, and they play it to a T.
For Mother Russia, all that shit. Yeah, I really like the hell out of that. That sequence was great.
The credits,
Harbor's awesome. The credits are so fucking cool.
Kelly hated that song.
Yeah, that's a real bad cover of that song.
A cover of "Smells Like Teen Spirit," but like, how weird is it that how many Marvel movies have we gotten opening credits for?
I talk fairly regularly to Nicole whenever we're watching movies like that. You don't see opening credits for movies, period, anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lost art, So I thought it was pretty fucking rad.
Yeah.
I think it might have been The Incredible Hulk? Is that the last one?
Oh shit! Wow.
Because Hulk has a proper.
Didn't they do one for Guardians?
Yes. While he's lip syncing on Morag, they do roll credits.
Yeah, but it's not like a credit sequence.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, it's a little.
I think it was you who told us that the reason they do the 2 sets of credits at the end of the movie is because it's like some union rule where you have to show the credits twice. So if you're not showing it in the beginning, you have to do it twice at the end.
Right. Yeah.
So that was usually the par for the course for Marvel movies. You get those 2 credits, you get a scene in between, and then a scene afterwards.
Yeah.
But then this one ends, and it just rolls credits, and you're like, wow.
Yeah. You know what was weird about that Smells Like Teen Spirit cover? They cut
What's that, Gil?
They cut out the line with the word libido in it, but they kept the line with the word mulatto in it.
Right. Is mulatto a slur?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was a slur. Like, obviously, I asked the question, so I knew there's a possibility it could be a slur.
Like, that's not like a word you just go around. That's like an old-timey phrase. Like, that would have, honestly, that term was dated when that song came out.
Well, like, that was the first time I ever heard that fucking word.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, that's wasn't like a term that was thrown around very often even then.
I just think it's funny because Kelly was commenting in our message chain about how he hated it, and I'm like, this kind of was the first time I'd ever heard like and understood most of the lyrics of that song.
I like that it kind of, it touched on the era because it was supposed to be 1995. So,
yeah.
Smells Like Teen Spirit was around that time.
Just play the song.
I like.
Don't get fucking Lord or whoever the shit it was to do it. That wasn't any good.
I liked how they showed the clips of them like keeping the kids docile by showing them DuckTales and giving them like juice boxes and shit like that. But then some of the
bit where they're like, yeah, we the photo sets like, yeah, we shot Christmas, Easter, and fucking Independence Day on
Summer
the same day,
vacation,
different
yeah.
backdrops and shit. That's pretty cool.
Some of the clips of them like opening the big storage containers filled with little girls and them all screaming, like that shit's dark for a Marvel movie. Real dark.
Yeah, hers is. But I'm kind of glad they went that way though, because like it's not like she has a happy story. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we put them in shipping containers and sent them to Russia, and they pulled out their uteruses, and it was a waking nightmare all the time. And then we controlled their minds.
And
very cool.
Like
Super fucking Jill.
we already know who Black Widow is. Essentially, like we've followed this character for 10 years. We don't really know much about her backstory, but just that little prologue and then the credit sequence. It's like, oh, so this is what this movie is going to be like. Interesting. I did not expect it.
Yeah, I really dug it.
I was
and then fucking came out of this thing loving Florence Pugh, man. Like, she's great.
Yeah.
She's real good. She's cool. Yelena's great.
She
Russian
saved
accent
that movie.
all throughout this damn movie. Yeah, she's awesome.
She got a real attitude. I like it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things. I rewatched it today. How many times have you seen it, JM?
Just once.
Did you see it in the theater? You saw it in the theaters?
Yeah, I saw it in the theater. I have a hard time justifying buying it when like 3 months from now it'll just be on Disney Plus for free.
Sure.
And I have a legal way to see movies in the theater that does not cost me any money right now. So I'm just it's like so since I can legally see them for free, I'm going again tomorrow. And then I'm taking my girlfriend tomorrow, and then I'm taking one of my best friends on Thursday. So, but yeah, this is the first time
I was worried for a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the first time I've ever had a discussion about like a Marvel movie where I've only ever seen it once. I remember it. Like I know I've watched some like clips and other stuff like online again, but.
Why the fuck do you think we brought you on here? Come on, fuck!
No, Florence Pugh was hands down my favorite part of this movie, and I didn't know what to expect because I don't know if I've ever actually seen her in a movie. I'd have to look at her filmography.
Midsummer, Lisa Midsummer.
Yeah, I actively avoided that after I got a little knowledge about it.
I saw
it's fucking trash.
I saw her as Paige in Fighting with My Family, and that was not very good. But one of my favorite little quirks of hers is she's got an attitude, and even in the opening clip I played before the show started, she like cracks a laugh every so often. Like she's having such a good time blowing shit up, and she's like, ha ha.
Yeah, like, are you seeing this? This is rad.
When she blew up that guard tower at the prison, and she just goes, ha! It's like, this is me playing Fortnite when I fucking explode somebody.
I like that they went that route with her, where because I mean with traumatic events, obviously you can have a variety of ways that people kind of come out of them and cope, and she obviously had like. Issues, and it wasn't all happy-go-lucky, but her way to cope is to try and have fun where she can and like take some things like less, find the fun where she could. And I like that because that kind of contrasted well, I think, with Natasha, because she's not
business.
She's more business, and I thought that it really helped cement their kind of like, big sister, little sister roles.
Yeah, one of my favorite through lines for Yelena is, she says it in the movie, like those 3 years they were a family was the best part of her life. Like she believes that was her mom, that was her dad, that was her sister. So whenever one of them kind of shrugs it off like, it was a job, or you're not my real sister, like that fucking hurts her, and you can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, I found the best part of my life was a lie. Like, fuck, man, that's rough.
Been there, huh?
When we first saw like posters and pictures of her, and she had the vest on that very clearly looked like the vest from Infinity War, and then they confirmed that it was the same one before the movie came out. I didn't think it would be such a an actual plot point in the movie, or an actual touch on the movie, and I really enjoyed it.
I really like the vest.
It took me until she handed it to Natasha to be like, oh, that's the vest she wore in that other movie. It took me a long time to put that together. I'm like, homegirl just likes her fucking vest. Cool. And I'm like, oh no, it's that one.
Twice I've seen Juggalo John make the comment that the girl who plays young Natasha, oh, that's why that girl looked like Mila Jovovich. And I'm like, I don't understand what you're saying. He's like, oh, that was actually Mila Jovovich's daughter.
Her daughter, yeah.
That's wild. Because I remember back in the day, Mila Jovovich was supposed to play Black Widow.
I can't even see that now. It's been too long.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel kind of bad for Scarlett Johansson and the Natasha character, because while she was an integral part of the Avengers, she never had the huge personality. She wasn't the fucking A-lister of the Avengers. And they even talk about it in the movie, like, you're not one of the big ones. And then in her own solo movie, which she waited 11 years for, Yelena, Florence Pugh, steals the show and essentially transforms the character of Black Widow now. Like, we obviously know she's Black Widow now. This is going to be our Black Widow going forward, and everybody's on board. Way more on board than they were when Scarlett Johansson was Black Widow in Iron Man 2.
But it's kind of funny because that really sort of is weirdly on brand for the Black Widow character. You know what I mean? She's not one of the big ones. It's kind of interesting the way that worked out. But I'm very excited to see her show up in the Hawkeye show, whatever that ends up being, and they could just easily put another fucking movie around her.
I mean, it definitely implies
Korean widows.
You guys think about how great it's going to be when Yelena, I can't say her name.
Yelena.
Blonde Widow and Katie from Hawkeye hang out.
Right.
Oh, it's going to be so great.
I'm so hyped for that.
Obviously they imply that the Hawkeye show takes place after Endgame, but I always just assumed that it was going to take place in between Infinity War and Endgame, because Hawkeye gets his family back. What's he doing fucking around with other Hawkeye in the city? Like,
he's managing he bought an apartment building, and he's trying to keep it safe from the fucking Russian gangsters down the street.
Do you think
that has to be what it's about?
Is it?
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Well, I would have assumed that would have been easier to do in between after the snap. He's got to keep himself
my wife
busy.
And kids are dead. Might as well become a property manager.
Well, I mean, there was a lot of property to manage.
I mean, if they swing it because he's training Kate, so if they're really just basing it around he wants somebody to be able to take the mantle from him, and so he can fully retire with his family, it's a little weird because he's not.
Mm-hmm.
I love Hawkeye, but in general, he's a guy with a bow and arrow, so it's not like they need to. He's not a symbol like Captain America where they need the torch carried on.
Right. When
or if they do they go source material with it, and Kate starts showing up, calling herself Hawkeye. It's like, whoa, what the fuck? I'm Hawkeye. What the hell is this shit? Oh, what's up, my dead friend's baby sister? Why are you trying to murder me? I'm sorry.
When Julia Louis-Dreyfus showed up, and she shows Yelena, oh, here's your next target. He's responsible for your sister's death, and shows her the picture of Clint Barton as Ronan. And then she's like, kind of a cutie, huh? I'm like, no, that's not a great picture of him. He kind of looks like shit. Jeremy Renner in general kind of looks like a weirdo. So no,
kind of just like a wad of silly putty in a man shape. Just not a looker. He ain't no Chris Evans.
Like he looks like he's got some ideas.
I love Alexei the Red Guardian. The moment
he sucks so bad. He sucks so bad, and it's great.
The moment he's arm wrestling dudes in the prison, the whole escape, and then he keeps stepping over his own words. He's like, "What is it? What is it? Your time of the month?"
Yeah. And they're like, "Yeah, no, we don't have periods, asshole." They ripped our uteruses out. He's like, "Okay, I get it.
Oh, you don't need to be so clinical."
I felt a part of me felt bad for laughing at in forced hysterectomy, but I just really liked how Yelena was going on about it and wanted to just keep describing it to him.
Well, just shutting that shit down.
You have to think both of them have been this rage has been building over 21 years. And it's like, this guy was my dad and just handed me over to this fucking psycho that ripped out all of our reproductive organs and trained us to be cold-blooded killers. Yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit of a dick to him.
And he's like, "Hey, my girls are back." Yes. He's like, "No, fuckhead,
family.
We don't like you."
I really hope we get more with him.
Yeah,
I really do. And I want to know more about the obvious answer or whatever is that he's just lying, but I would really like to know what the Captain America story from the 80s is. Like if they want to go the route of having some other one of the other Captain Americas that maybe they tried out and he's actually fought.
Do the 50s Cap story, but just move it into the 80s.
I saw a theory that it's time traveling Cap from the end of Endgame.
Oh, that could be
fun. That could be good. And he's like, "Did he ever talk about me? Did he ever mention me?"
You'll know.
Did you guys notice his ridiculous ass Karl Marx knuckle tattoos?
Fuck yeah, I did.
They're incredible.
I originally only saw the Carl on his right hand. And I'm like, what does the other hand say? Does it say Marx? And then I saw it in my second viewing that I watched today. That's amazing.
That's very good.
I love Daddy Hopper.
Yeah, Daddy Hopper's the best. Numerous times in the movie, he would do something, and I would say out loud, I go, "He fucking sucks." He sucks so bad.
Yeah. Imagine every deadbeat dad, but also handed you over to the Red Room.
Yeah, and is also super soldier.
Yeah. When he flipped that dumpster or whatever the fuck it was to get it out of the way of the plane. Real cool stuff.
I love that shit. I love when they just do big feats in very small ways. I love that shit in these dumb movies. It's so fun. It was fun, but it wasn't I didn't feel like they were trying to jam a joke in every 5 minutes and beat you over the head with it. I felt very natural. It's
I
very
think
good.
For the most part, it was played pretty seriously. Jose compared it to. This was like Black Widow's Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Or like a Mission Impossible type thing. Hell, Kelly even said in the classic last week, it looks like a Mission Impossible movie, and it sure as shit did.
I fucking loved that at one point Natasha was sitting in her little trailer out in the middle of nowhere, Norway, eating her food, watching James Bond movies on her laptop. Of course.
Going back to Mission Impossible, she pulled off a face.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She sure the fuck did.
The entire the sequence from when she basically the time from when she first encounters Yelena as adults in the safe house, all the way through when they escape through the subway and everything. That's probably my favorite overall sequence in the movie, and it felt to me the most like a Mission Impossible movie. I really enjoyed all that entire I'm a sucker for chase scenes anyway, especially when they use the car in different ways. So like Yelena flip it, like turning the wheel to get them to go in the opposite direction and then kicking the door off so it gets ripped off and takes out the motorcyclist. Like I could watch that on a loop for like hours.
And then whatever jokes it gets are very earned. When she's in the helicopter and the snow is coming, goes, "This would be a very cool way to die." It fucking would be. Rad as hell.
Yeah, the fight between the two of them when they first meet back up, it's kind of similar to the first fight with Taskmaster, where they're super evenly matched and almost mirror images of each other to the point where they're choking each other to death, and they finally truce.
That's good shit. So I've seen people bitching about Taskmaster on the internet because
Taskmaster fucking sucked.
Okay, here's the thing. Like, I like Taskmaster just fine.
Yeah, that's not Taskmaster.
Right. Like, it's very different, but like I can't. I was talking to Goat about it, and we're kind of talking about how people are kind of really bitching about it. But like, what's Taskmaster's real name?
Tony Masters.
Yeah, it's Tony Masters.
Well, fuck me, I didn't know that, and you just shit on my point.
But
I don't think it matters.
But this character's name is Antonia.
Yeah. Well, no, my point was going to be no one knows his fucking real name, so who cares if they change him around a little bit? But I guess I'm wrong as shit. Like this is a nobody likes grapes moment for me. Thanks, guys.
I mean, I know his name, but like, and I know I've read comics with him in it. But like, I'll be damned if I can tell you like extensive things about him. Like, I personally am I love the comics and stuff, but I don't really care if they change some things around. And I will cop that Taskmaster in this movie was not much of a character, but I don't care. Like, I'm not like some kind of Taskmaster stan that needs like this comic accurate. It reminds me very much of when people were pissed off about the Mandarin in Iron Man 3, where like people came out of the woodwork that all of a sudden just like were diehard Mandarin fans. And I'm like, dislike that twist if you want. I don't care. Like, everybody has their own desires, but like, or their own likes. But like, I just don't care enough about Taskmaster to care that they changed the character.
On that same token of Mandarin. You could do what they're doing with Mandarin with Taskmaster because it's essentially a technology.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like Taskmaster, like, he's too cool of a character to waste on this movie.
I mean,
Taskmaster is pretty cool. Like,
they could easily create a comic accurate Taskmaster that doesn't rely on technology, that has the same abilities that Taskmaster has, and just say that Dreykov use that as a template to create this. Like, they could could do that if they wanted to.
Yeah.
And based on the reaction I've seen, I feel like they may very well do that at some point.
Have him run around with shittier Ant-Man.
Yeah, yeah, because it'd be a waste not to. Like, Taskmaster's he's visually super cool, and just has a cool moveset and stuff, and can do anything else any other character can do. And it's like,
they did do some pretty cool shit with the Taskmaster fights, though. We had the Black Panther claws and the cat moves and shit. It was very cool.
I think they communicated the powers and the abilities great. It just wasn't the characterization that most people would have expected. Like, my main exposure to Taskmaster was when he was like the drill sergeant in Avengers Initiative, and he was training the new recruits. And he's he's kind of a dickhead, cocky prick. And obviously, you don't get that at all in Black Widow because he's just Taskmaster is basically just a Michael Myers, non-speaking. It's a gimmick essentially, but they were able to tie it into the story with Natasha's backstory and all that.
And like, going back to what Lee said about not knowing Taskmaster's name, that's kind of a part of his character now, because like in the Fred Van Lente series from a few years ago, his brain is like rewriting over his actual memories now with fighting moves.
Right.
So he's like not entirely sure who he is anymore.
Yeah, he's filled up the hard drive, so he's losing all of his memories.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
That shit where Taskmaster's just standing in front of that giant screen watching the fight between Hawkeye and Black Widow, like that's some real serial killer shit. Like I was into it.
I would have liked one additional fight with Taskmaster, like versus like just Yelena or something. That was my only like desire really with Taskmaster. I was fine with what they did.
Taskmaster felt like a throwback villain to the first few MCU movies when it's like the villains really are just bad guys. It's like, why are they bad? Well, they're bad. You know, they're bad guys.
I can understand. I can understand people who have problems with this version of Taskmaster, but it worked for me. I tell you, the villain that didn't really work for me was Dreykov, because Ray Winstone could not hold on to his Russian accent whatsoever.
No.
And
no, he would go into Russian to just dirtbag to back to Russian.
Well, because he's British, I think, maybe possibly Irish, but he's also been in like Departed and shit like that. So he also slips into New York or Boston. But like, at one point, he there was a sentence where he used 9 different accents and not one of them was Russian.
Yeah,
and I think he could have been a lot more fleshed out and scarier, especially being essentially the big bad of the story. He was wasted.
Yeah. And again, he felt like he was another one where it just like, he's a bad guy.
Right.
I liked him in so much as like, I don't know, just his physical, like it sounds weird, but just his physicality of like how he was
pretty bad
like
guy though.
Like, but I really think we should have gotten more with him throughout the movie.
That hurt it too, because they built him up as like kind of a boogeyman type character, but it's like, I don't know, it didn't feel earned. Essentially, it was a lot of we're gonna tell you what this dude did, and then it just shows up, and it's like, oh, that's just a guy.
And also, what's the logic behind? Natasha wants to join S.H.I.E.L.D. and she's just gotta cross a few things off of her to-do list, including blowing up an entire building and murdering a young child.
Yeah.
S.H.I.E.L.D.'s like, all right, you took care of that? All right. Here's your outfit.
Hang on. Now we gotta jump you in.
Coulson's like, fuck yeah, this is what we're talking about. Welcome to the team.
Also,
I wonder if S.H.I.E.L.D. knew about that. Like,
they set up the mission. Yeah.
Well, no, I know, but if they knew about the daughter, about Antonia, like if they actually,
no, because they knew that he blew up a building,
right. So they may not have known, because in Avengers, Loki specifically says that Hawkeye told him about like Dreykov's daughter, so it might have just been like Hawkeye that knew.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, really. My favorite Dreykov bit though is when I popped so hard when she bashed her face into the desk to break her nose. She's like,
that was pretty rad.
You can't hit for shit, so let me take care of this. Pop! And I'm like, oh shit.
Well, yeah, I didn't assume it was going to be some pheromone thing. I thought it was like the RoboCop Prime Directive where, RoboCop can't arrest Dick Jones, Black Widow can't hurt Dreykov. It was like, no, it's a pheromone thing. You just got to sever that nerve.
I thought because he was all just gross and shit. I thought she was gonna just take hits until he had a heart attack or some shit. Like, I got you, motherfucker. Pretty dope. That was great. I dug it though. It was fun. It was good seeing you've had all the Disney Plus shows and that's awesome. But nothing quite like a big MCU movie. Yeah. But kind of speaking of being a big MCU movie, whatever. Like I one of the reasons I liked it so much, I think, was because it did feel like appropriately small. I mean, the stakes were very much about Natasha. World's not being saved. You know what I mean? This is a very tight character driven story. And I liked it a lot. It was very good.
Well, I mean, at this point, compared to Infinity War and Endgame, everything's a smaller story.
True enough. Yeah.
It would have been. I've seen people complain because like it's coming out now and not years ago, and it would have. I would have loved to have come out years ago, but I'm also a fan of when they go back and fill in gaps in time. I know that this. I like that this took place like right after Civil War. Well, kind of like basically after she leaves in Civil War, but then before Steve shows up at the raft.
Mm-hmm.
Like it basically takes place like during parts of Civil War.
Yeah. I'm into it. I think it's cool as hell.
Yeah, I'd love them. I wouldn't mind them doing that with other characters if it's appropriate.
I made the observation that I don't think the fight scenes would have been as well done or as kinetic or as well directed if it was done 10 years ago. Like this is,
it's a different world.
The
game is different.
Yeah. This is a Black Widow movie that's been able to see how many John Wick movies at this point.
Yeah, no, the game has changed for sure. Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm into it. So what we got? We got what? Shang-Chi's next. Is that right?
Well, I mean, the season finale of Loki is in 3
tomorrow.
hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we got Loki's rapping, and then there's
they're bringing in rapping Loki?
They very well may. That fucking, that alligator can throw down.
Oh, man, I hope rapping Loki is played by Weird Al.
We got Shang-Chi, we got the Eternals is this year, fucking Spider-Man is this year still, and I guess that Hawkeye show is coming out this year, so it's
wild.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive, you guys.
Isn't Miss Marvel coming out? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, that is also this year.
You guys, I don't want to see Eternals.
I mean, here's the thing. I bet it's going to be good. Because for the most part, the Marvel pictures are good.
Would you watch it opening weekend on Disney Plus if you had access?
I mean, if I had exactly enough time between wrestling shows.
I'm very eager to get back to the movie theater. And, Black Widow or just an MCU movie would have been the perfect movie to get back. But also, we're still trying to dip our toes back into getting back out in society. And also, you can't really turn your nose up at the ability to pay Disney $30 and watch it at home on opening weekend. We had Jose and his lady over, so that $30 was cheaper than buying 4 tickets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that
it's gonna be tough to go out when you don't have to.
But I do my system at home is not equipped for a big MCU movie, so I'm gonna have to do some upgrades at home, and I do want to get back out to the theater. I was blown away to see the news that with domestic, international, and the Disney Plus Premier Access, Black Widow is the 3rd highest opening of an MCU movie of all time. That's fucking wild.
Yeah,
so
that's nuts.
Premier Access is not going anywhere anytime soon.
No.
They will most likely pick and choose. It won't be every movie. I think a good option for them would be 2 weeks after the movie hits theaters, because that's when you get your big money, is those first 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then you're going to catch people that most likely wouldn't have even gone to the theater anyway, but still want to watch it, because a lot of people don't go to theaters.
Yeah.
So I still need to rewire my brain to be wanting to watch new releases like that at home, unless they are specifically a Netflix or Hulu or whatever original. Because I wanted to watch Godzilla versus Kong, and I have HBO Max. I had an entire month to do it, and I didn't, because it was just I'll get to it eventually. When I don't make when I don't make it a point to go to the theater, and I just feel like I can watch it whenever, I end up not watching it.
That's what kind of happened with me and Wonder Woman 84, and now it's just sitting there on HBO Max. Please watch me.
Yeah, it's okay.
I watched Wonder Woman 1984 on Christmas Day, because Christmas was canceled for me because my brother was had been dealing with COVID, and we just didn't want to do it. And so I watched it, and it took me 7 hours to get through because I kept falling asleep. I didn't watch it ever again, because I was oh, whatever, I can watch it. And then the month passed, and then now it's back, and I still don't.
It's wild because Suicide Squad is supposed to be on HBO Max. So it's like, okay, well, I don't have to pay a single dime to see that.
Yeah.
But also, it's going to be in IMAX. So, like, I would love to see a movie in IMAX, but why pay $40 to see it when I could see it for free at home?
Yeah. Yeah, I will say, Nice, you were saying about how, your setup isn't as good as the movie theater, obviously. But, like, I will give this movie a ton of credit. The sound mix was great.
Yeah, see, we had problems, like, especially the prologue, the mix was really weird, or it was a choice to have all the dialogue super low in the mix, to where you don't really need to hear what they're saying.
For this, I didn't really have any problem with hearing dialogue. It seemed all mixed pretty evenly.
Yeah, we had a hard time.
Like, after being out of theaters for a year, there were two things. One thing I didn't miss about being in the theater, and one thing I missed about being at home. So I always have subtitles on when I watch TV at home, always, and I miss not having those.
Freak.
Freak, am I right, guys?
Well, I mean, you could get that at the theater, John-Michael.
I mean, I want them to be able to do that.
Well,
but
they
my
do.
Theater doesn't.
They do.
Mine doesn't have.
They give you
I'd
like
have to
a
look
little.
to see if my theater, when or if the.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the hard of hearing, they give you like a little screen or something that like you plug into the cup holder. I'm not 100% on that, but it's
I'd have to look into it. I just like to be able to like know for sure, because like I don't know, and sometimes like dialogue I miss. But then the other thing is, while I was watching the movie, some dude answered his phone.
Oh my god.
He was talking. He wasn't like at full volume, but he answered. He's like, "I can't talk right now. I'm in a movie." And then he continued to talk for like a minute, and I was so close to pulling a Lee and just going and grabbing his damn phone.
Like that's going to be so tough for me to not immediately snap on someone after this past year.
I don't answer phone calls.
Like I don't
when I'm in an exact position to answer a phone call.
Yeah, I don't understand who these fucking dum-dums think they are, that they're so important that they need to answer a phone call. Are you a heart surgeon?
That you have to answer, or like this case, answer a phone to see if you can't talk.
Are you?
Don't answer it. They know you can't talk.
Are you the president's lawyer? What's going on here? Like, the only way I would give you a pass is if you're trying to get laid. You're trying to get that dick wet, then okay, answer your phone. Whatever. But get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
I assume that everyone that's trying to talk to people, to like calling someone, is a mailman.
I just don't get.
You guys ever seen?
Yeah, go.
You guys
like,
only
get the
see
fuck
mailmans
out.
talking
like,
on the
leave.
phone constantly now. Like, you ever see a mailman? They're talking always.
Mailmans and cabbies.
Yeah, but like seriously, like now, whenever the mail comes at my house, if I'm just sitting in the living room reading, all of a sudden I hear a person talking, and it's getting slowly closer and closer to my door, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Oh, mailman. Okay.
Yeah, not doing much. Just gotta drop off this robot model kit to this fucking nerd real quick.
That's pretty much what it is. The best time though that ever happened was when the dude was talking, and then he puts the thing in the mail, and he's going, boom, mail.
That's fantastic. That guy deserves a tip at Christmas.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Tip that dude. Tip that fucking guy. I love it.
I was to recap, I was pleasantly surprised by Black Widow. You know,
the thing that I also don't get about people who answer their phone or on their phone in movies that have just come out.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, go for it. It's okay.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a lag.
Seconds behind. Yeah, he's got a delay going. That's okay. But how long do we have to wait?
Oh no, they got him.
I don't know if I'm like matched with you guys now. If there's a lag,
2 + 2.
Oh, that's a bad one.
Oh, this is real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Michael, maybe drop off and come back and.
Yeah, he's on last week's episode.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ.
We're still waiting for that 4.
Classic.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I didn't expect much out of this movie, and I was pleasantly surprised. I had a really good time.
I thought it was a blast.
I enjoyed it well enough. I thought it was fine. I'd put it, I don't know. If we were doing our ranking of the Marvel movies, if we had that up, I'd probably put it in the bottom half, but like near the top of the bottom half.
Below Punisher Warzone.
Oh, absolutely. Like that's not even I don't even have to think about that. Yes.
I'd say I enjoyed it much more than I did Captain Marvel. Not to shit on Captain Marvel, but just
it's better than Captain Marvel.
Female-led MCU movie. I'd put it over. I'd say I'd put it over that first Thor movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I when it was done, I told Nicole, I'm like, yeah, that's the fucking. I liked it a lot more than Kelly. Apparently, I thought it was a real top tier fucking Marvel movie. I enjoyed it a lot.
It fits well with the Captain America movies, tonally and obviously like subject matter.
Yeah,
I don't know what I would trim up though, but I just wish it was just a bit shorter.
Was it you or was it someone else who was like, I dare one of these motherfuckers to make a 90-minute superhero movie?
Yes, that was me. Yeah. I'm begging you. Make one of these movies fucking 90 minutes.
That would be fantastic.
Hell, I dare 85. Let's go.
Because you know what? You trim so that's 135 minutes, 2 hours and 15 minutes. You trim 45 minutes off of that. That's like $100 million.
Yeah.
Off of the budget.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't need these all to be over 2 hours.
But they're so fun.
They're fun.
See, I got bored in the second half. Like I said before, I started building a model during.
There's a lot of
that's when shit started happening with the second half.
There's a lot of quiet dialogue scenes in the second half. You know, there's the whole family sitting around catching up. You know, there's the whole them in the prison cells talking, Dreykov and Melina talking. But then they start blowing shit up.
They sure
and
did.
See, that's kind of when I tuned out. I was like, this is lame.
Yelena just running around.
Tough nut.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? Give me less of... wow, I almost called her Selena like she was black or like Catwoman. Give me less of Black Widow. Give me more of Blonde Widow. She's far more interesting of the two.
She is.
Yeah, she really was great. She was a lot of fun. And I'm sure we'll see her again.
Definitely.
Young Avengers, let's go.
Well, do you think Young Avengers, or because of Julia Louis-Dreyfus, are we building a Dark Avengers?
Secret Warriors, let's go.
They could do Dark Avengers or Thunderbolts.
Right.
You know, they've got options. I like that. I'm curious if they... Because they said that, you know, we were supposed to see her first in this because this movie was supposed to come out, you know, last year. I don't know if they reshot it or if this is what we would have gotten, because for me, I like how we did it this way. Like, I think it worked well this way.
I think
I would assume they had to reshoot it because I don't think that scene would have worked at all if we hadn't seen her before.
I think what I heard is that they trimmed her down in Falcon Winter Soldier because she was supposed to be introduced in Black Widow.
Huh.
Oh, so you got to trim her out of Falcon and Winter Soldier because her 80 seconds in Black Widow hadn't come out yet? That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that's weird. Because, yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like if she hadn't been introduced, like, what... Everyone would just be like, what's Julia Louis-Dreyfus doing here? And they wouldn't even care about the character.
Veep is in the MCU now.
Exactly.
Oh, my God. Right before they show Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Yelena whistles, and there's that long pause, I thought for sure we were gonna hear a whistle back.
Yeah.
Everybody,
I was gonna be like, scroll.
Oh.
I mean, that's like they could do it the opposite way, and that's a good way to get some people back who may have died. Just have scrolls appear if they wanted to. You know, if they're not going to actually resurrect Natasha, but if they wanted to have Scarlett Johansson appear again.
Yeah, I like it.
They could They could throw that out there and like, I mean, because really the only person's word we have that she's dead. I mean, I know we saw it, but like the people in the MCU, the only person's word they have that she's dead is Hawkeye's. So they could easily bring her in and have a Skrull impersonate her and mess with people.
Well, didn't like the embodiment of death kind of confirm that she died?
yeah. Fucking the fake Skrull Natasha falls down, and fucking Red Skull's like, "What's she trying to pull?"
Yeah.
like, what is this?
Well, I mean, I think that I know that was actually really Natasha, but they could pull it where Natasha shows up and the characters don't they're like, what the hell? Hawkeye said you died. Oh, no, I didn't. And then, doubt is sown. And can we trust Hawkeye? The viewer might know, but they could, the characters wouldn't.
Or if they pulled the new Natasha out of a tube in the comics 2 years ago. So, I mean, anything could happen.
Yeah. It could just be a brief thing where, Hawkeye's running around a corner and all of a sudden there's Natasha and it's like, fuck, what? Natasha? And then he shoots her in the head with an arrow and it's a Skrull.
Into it. But all right. So that's about all there is to say. It was a good time. I really enjoyed it. I'm in for whatever happens next, but I'm in the bag for all this bullshit anyway.
It's kind of refreshing to have one of the, an MCU movie that, while there are connective threads that they can pick up, and we know Yelena's going to appear in Hawkeye and everything, but that wasn't like this earth shatter. It was just a nice story of, with, Black Widow. And
it wasn't a commercial for the next movie.
Yeah.
That's a perfect way. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just its own thing. It's really good stuff. But all right. So let's fucking, let's land this bird, man.
All right.
Dig it. Fucking thanks for hanging out with us, John-Michael.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Good luck on your next 7 showings.
Yep, I'm
and
really
your next 7 kidney stones.
Yes.
Hopefully they don't coincide. I don't. I'm really curious how many I'll end up with because I'm still trying to be cautious and I don't want to be at the theater as much as as I was in the past yet. So I don't know. I want to get to at least 5. Because that's like my low number for other ones. So we'll see what it ends up at. I don't think it's going to be quite the highest just based on where everything is now. But hopefully by the time Shang-Chi comes out, assuming the movie's good, which I think it looks good, maybe I'll be able to get back up to 10 or 15.
Shang-Chi is going to make $1 billion.
Yeah.
It's going to be ridiculous how much money that fucking movie makes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Eternals, they've earned the benefit of the doubt with Eternals. Like, I know almost nothing about the Eternals. I've read more than 5 comics where they've appeared, then I'd be shocked. But
the 2 things Eternals has going for it is the cast is pretty wild. Like, this is the first time that a debuting MCU movie has had huge name people in it. Usually they go for mid-tier up-and-comers.
Right.
And just the fact that it's an MCU movie. Those are the 2 things going for it. And, they're going to have to earn it. But yeah, it gives me real Inhumans vibes.
Yeah. That's not good, though.
No,
not good
exactly.
At all.
And they're just like, hey, look at these boring ass celestial designs. Don't worry, we won't show you them in the trailer.
Oof, that's nothing should ever give anybody Inhumans vibes.
Remember when they threw that sack of trash that was kind of supposed to be Triton in the river?
God.
That I saw that
when they cut Medusa's hair 15 minutes into it. Like, what the fuck?
Hey, look, they just didn't want to animate it. It's fine.
I saw it in IMAX, the first 2 episodes in IMAX.
Oh God.
No! Yeah, that was rough. Like, I remember within like 5 minutes, I was just like, "What the?" And I saw it for free at least, but I'm like, "What the fuck is this?"
He's like, "I got to come back and do this 19 more times. This is fucking horrible."
And that was like the first thing I had seen in IMAX in a while. It was not good. I never finished the series.
Good.
Nobody did. No one did. No. All right. You want to fucking yap and mouth off about Black Widow? Check out the Discord, man. Go to this discord.panelsonpages.com. Hit up that movie section. Let us know what the fuck is going on. And we will be back next week. Probably with a Jose. Probably without a Mahoney. We'll see what the fuck happens next. But maybe we'll just go wild card. And Kelly won't be here. And just be me and Nye. We'll just bro out. We'll just watch Punisher Warzone. It could be great. It'll be awesome.
No, you swapped out me and Nyes. You traded us.
No, I didn't. I'm a make him watch Punisher Warzone again.
He's gonna make me run it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, no, I said push play, motherfucker. Yeah. Push play.
Load it up, bitch.
Double dog dare you. All right. So yeah, for Jason Nyes, Kelly Harris, our good buddy Mahoney, John-Michael, and the man who is not here, our good buddy Jose, who's somewhere. I think he's in Chicago.
Yeah.
Could be Chicago. Hard to say.
Eating hot
he's
dogs.
Like Rolling Stone. So many hot dogs. Right side up like a man should eat his hot dogs.
Eating a plain hot dog for me.
No, I am the Lord Reverend Lee Rodriguez. We'll talk to you guys next week at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, youtube.com/panelsonpages. Night. Love you. Bye-bye.
Did you mind if I did?
You fucking Google ass bitch.
Do you mind if I did? Did you mind if I did?
Fucking Google something.
Do you mind if I did?
Holy shit.
Did you mind if I did?
You fucking Google ass bitch.
Do you mind if I did?
I didn't want to say it.
Did you mind if I did?
What are you, some kind of bitch?
Whoa.
Did you mind if I did?
You fucking
Google ass bitch.
Do you mind if I did?
Why you keep bugging us, you two?
Did you mind if I did?
You fucking Google ass bitch.
That's it. Show's over. We're done.